God grant you health.
I need something that'll put animals to sleep. Prochek said you might know something.
Did you get tired of blacksmithing and take up farming instead? I just happen to know of something. I used a concoction that will put even a startled mare to sleep in no time. I once accidentally drank some and slept for 3 days. But the recipe is an old blacksmith's secret. The kind you don't just give away. You're in the trade, so I can tell you. Listen up then. You take some poppy and thistle and boil them in oil. Then, after it cools off, you add a little herb Paris.
That doesn't sound too complicated. Thank you.
Was willst du?
Show me your wares. I'd like to do something about that price.
Natürlich, kein Problem. Hey, you'll convince me with that price. Das war ein gutes Geschäft. Auf Wiedersehen.
I've heard you dye your own fabric.
I used to. I tried a few times, but I had to give it up. Troskowitz is on a hill, and there's not enough water for that. Why'd you ask?
I'd like to buy some pigment.
I see. Perhaps I could find some leftover black. If you have enough groschen, it's yours.
Ah, damn. That's more money than I thought. Look, I don't need much. Just a bit will do.
Is that so? What do you want it for, anyway?
I want to paint on Olbram of Zhelyov's bull. Just a little should be enough.
Someone from Tarkov put you up to this, am I right? You should have said that right away. I won't spoil your fun. You know what? If I scraped off some of that dry pigment from the edges of the bucket and mixed it with some lard, that could work. Those pigments are a magical thing, eh?
What do you mean?
For example, if you need blue, you can use blueberries or woad leaves. You put them in hot water with the fabric and it'll turn blue. Walnuts good too. With the husks of unripe walnuts, you can get a very nice light brown, sometimes even yellow. The best way to make red is from madder root. And when you add alum or beeswing to the water, the colour gets a beautifully rich shade. Or you could just use plain old black elder. The berries, of course, but they're more for lighter shades. Oh, and privet's not too bad either. If you use its bark and alum, you get yellow. You can even use the leaves. They make a nice green, but it takes forever. But you know what's my favourite way of making yellow? Using dyer's broom or weld. You take a few nice stems, some leaves, a bit of alum, and you get yellow, as bright as a chick's feathers. And for so much cheaper than using saffron or iris, that's the main thing. Buckthorn makes a nice green, maybe the best of all. You use its fruit. They say it can also heal, but I've never tried that. The most important part is the stain anyway. Like alum, for example. It can create all sorts of shades and give depth and richness to the colour. But even that won't help you if you don't know what to use for what colour. Sometimes you want the fruit, sometimes the bark, sometimes the root, or maybe the leaves. Too bad I don't dye fabric much anymore. But I see you're really into it. You know what? Take some of it, for free.
My word. Thank you so much.
Oh, not worth mentioning. Just be careful not to stain yourself. Quality material like this doesn't wash off easily.
God! God! Go!
Go!
Ka!
God bless.
Whoa!
At the crossroads. Oh no. Why? A lovely tree like that. It's a nice place to rest when you're passing by in the summer. The only bit of shade far and wide.
God bless.
All right. What am I gonna do with you? Aye. This'll be good.
Praise God. Excuse me?
Aye. I apologize.
Do you have enough onions for the soup?
It's done. Olbram's bull isn't as white as it used to be.
I knew you wouldn't let me down, mate. Olbram must be having a fit. I can almost see it.
To hell with the fucking pricks. The lousy cities are...
All right, then. Here's the reward I promised you. Every last groschen.
Thanks.
And since you already got caught up in our little disputes, maybe you can help me with something else.
So, what can I help the Tachovites with this time?
We're planning to meet with the Geliovites in the pasture that they keep arguing with us about. We'll sort it all out with them there. Nicely. Man to man. Wouldn't you like to join us?
Why not? After painting that bull, it would actually be quite a pleasant change to talk things over face to face.
Aye. Talk. We'll get into a huge argument and then start punching each other in the gob. So then, should I send for Olbram so we can get going?
I have something else to take care of first. Could you wait a while?
All right, fine. But don't dawdle. It was good to see you, my friend.
Wouldn't you rather call an end to this endless feud with the Geliovites? That way, you'd each have half of the pasture, and everyone's happy, no?
Chance would be a fine thing. Olbram will never give up. He says the whole pasture is his.
The bordeth by the orchard, that's where I got my ass kicked.
Who knows what the old fool got his ass kicked for back then.
You should talk to the bailiff and get him to support you.
Thrush! He already said ages ago he doesn't want to get involved. He even threatened us with the stocks if we keep bothering him. Take care for now.
Praise God.
Fucking shit!
What's the matter?
Them Hawthorns painted my underdeck! When I catch a lousy bastard, I'll break the grubby out of head. He won't even be able to wipe his ass. Bloody fucking hell! Then you need something.
I see you're not exactly in a good mood.
Good mood? I'm in a bloody fucking terrible mood. Fucking tackle bastard. They're getting above themselves.
Do you want me to help with them?
Trust me, I'll make it worth your while. What do you say?
Sure. If there's something bothering you, I'd be happy to help.
Listen up then. Those naughty Tachovite bastards have this nice maypole in their village. They're so proud of it, you'd think it's a gift from the king himself. Especially Prochek. Nothing would teach them a lesson better than stealing it and putting it up on display here. Just to spite them.
So all I have to do is take their maypole and bring it to you?
Aye, exactly. But be careful no one sees you take it. It'll be even better if they don't even know it's missing. Besides, if they catch you, they'll beat the shit out of you. So be careful.
All right, I'll be careful. Thanks.
Excellent. But even if something goes wrong, don't go clobbering anyone over the head, understand? All I want to do is piss Prochek off.
You want to do what to him?
Piss him off! You know? Mess with him. For stealing our maypole and our pasture. But remember, no violence, All right?
Course. I wouldn't hurt a fly. You can count on me.
But go ahead and talk to Prochek. At least you'll see what an asshole he is.
Why don't you like the Tachovites?
Because they're wankers. Arrogant wankers. Think they're above everyone else? But mainly, they stole our pasture, which has belonged to Zhelyov since time immemorial.
Why do they look down on you?
Commoners here have all sorts of obligations to the nobility, and have to pay a tax.
Of course. That makes sense.
Aye, but Tachov has all its obligations in Grossen. They just pay up and that's it. But the nobles won't allow the same for Zhelyov. Besides Grossen, the others have to give them pigs, chickens, hay and the like, or go and serve. That's why them Tachovites look down on us. They think they're better than us.
Right you are. Those Tachovites are a bunch of stuck-up idiots.
Exactly. Eh? Even an outsider can tell.
Into my yard. And I'm telling you, that piece of land is mine.
Greetings.
That's a beautiful maypole you have there. You don't see that every day. I reckon all the other villagers must envy you.
They sure do. Them Zhelyevites try to steal it, but our fellas kick their asses. Why are you so interested in it anyway?
I'm from a small town myself, and I can appreciate a nice maypole. I remember having to guard it every year.
Tell me about it. A real headache it is. But for a good cause. Sorry, I'm just a bit on edge these days. And if someone had bad intentions, Henik would show them how we do things here in Tachov. That's the one thing he's good for.
I wanted to ask about Henik.
What about him?
Did he do something to you? Sounds like you're not exactly fond of him.
Aye, I'm not. He's been getting on my nerves ever since he got together with our Manka. I'm afraid he'll mess with her head and run off with her. Just like his bloody brothers did.
Where did they go?
What do I know? One day they just packed up and wandered off. Their village wasn't good enough for them, I reckon. I wouldn't mind if someone went and beat the thought of Manka out of his head. Maybe someone not from around here.
Why not? I could manage that.
He's not much of a fighter, but I reckon if you call him a vagrant or something, it'll surely rile him up. And I'll remember you did me a little favor.
You shouldn't be here. Get going. Good day to you.
How's it going?
It's shit, to tell you the truth.
How come?
Because I have to guard this bloody maypole. I can't even get a good night's sleep because of it, and there's plenty of other work to do during the day. And then there's... Ah, never mind. Forget it.
What did you want to say? Sometimes it's better to share your troubles. Two heads are better than one, after all.
I mean, if you say so. It's about Manka. I'm sure you've noticed her. She's the prettiest lass around.
Oh, it's hard not to notice her.
Exactly. Me and Manka love each other, but her parents are against it. I don't even know why. They just don't like me. They forbid her from seeing me. We went to a dance together in Troskowitz recently, but when they found out, they were furious. Now they're keeping close watch over her and causing problems for me as well.
Well, they can't be watching her all the time, can they? Just go out late at night sometime. Nobody'll notice.
We've done that a few times, but we can't now. There's no time for it. I've got to stand watch at night. I was drawn. This year, they want to keep the maypole up until harvest, and that's still far off.
Listen, I've got an idea. How about I stand watch in your stead for one night? You and Manka can go somewhere in the meantime. Nobody'll know.
You do that for us?
Of course. It's nothing.
All right, we have a deal. Ask Manka and let me know what she says.
God be with you.
If you're hungry, just let... I have some well-aged mutton.
Henik told me about you.
That's great. And why are you telling me?
He said you're having a hard time seeing each other because of your parents. So he came up with a plan.
Aye, that's true. So what did you come up with?
I'll take over guard duty for him, and you two can have some time to yourselves.
Well, that sounds pretty good, actually. So how are we going to do it?
Tonight, when everyone's asleep, you'll sneak out and wait for Henik. I'll take over his watch, and you two, well, can do whatever you want.
All right, agreed. Tell Henik I'll be waiting for him. He'll know where to go. And tell him I'm looking forward to tonight.
Filthy again. Damn it.
Good news. Manka agrees. She'll be waiting for you tonight. She says you'll know where.
We'll meet by the maypole as soon as it gets dark, all right?
Aye. It's a deal. All right, I'm here. You can go and see Manka.
Great. Thanks a lot, Henry.
My pleasure. Leave it to me.
I won't forget this.
Ah, don't mention it. Go on. Don't keep her waiting. I really need to sleep. I should eat something.
You should have a light.
I could go for something to eat now. Oh, so hungry I could eat a horse. Say, I have this fancy maypole from Takov here if you're interested.
My God! They're going to slit the toast! Nobody's got them this good in years! You're a champ, Henry! As soon as I saw you, I knew you had it in you. I promised you something, didn't I? And I'm a man of my word.
I wouldn't expect anything less. Thanks. Happy to help.
What do you say we pull one more trick, eh? I'd make it worth your while, of course.
All right. Why not?
Great. Now listen up. Let's really ruin their day, shall we?
I'm all ears.
Them Tachovites grazed their sheep near the pasture they took from us. And you're going to scatter their sheep into the woods. What do you say? They'll have to herd them all back. I reckon they'll be proper pissed off.
All right. I'm sure they won't be happy about that.
That they won't. But that's not all. Prochek's beloved son is in charge of the sheep now. You'll make him look like a complete moron.
All right. That's a good plan.
Of course it is. I came up with it. The Tachovites will be doing the wash thing soon. If you manage to drive the sheep through the drying laundry, I reckon they won't be too thrilled about it. I'll even give you an extra reward.
Say, Olbram, how am I supposed to lure away Prochek's son?
You'll figure it out. Actually, wait. I've got an idea. Flip this into his food, and you'll see.
What will I see?
It's what I give to my cattle for bellyache. Prochek's lad is going to sit all over himself. And while he's gone, you'll be able to chase off his sheep.
All right. That sounds like a plan. I'm on it.
Great. But same as before, all right? Don't go killing anyone, and don't get caught.
Were you at the last mass? I didn't see you there.
Just as well. I fell asleep during the sermon.
I'm not surprised. The sermons have been awful lately. If I hear about the woman with 10 silver coins one more time, I'll scream.
Maybe we could sneak in some wine next time. That would make it more bearable.
Or just say sod it and not go.
What are you talking about? You want to go to hell?
Hell or a boring mass. What's the difference?
Praise God.
See you around.
I went past your garden the other day, and that dog of yours was going mad, barking and growling at me like I was a stranger. You never used to be like that.
I'll have a beer.
I really need to eat something.
troublemaker. You'll pay for that. Hey, are you crazy or what? What the hell are you doing? Stop that and get out of here!
I'm feeling a bit peckish.
Praise the Lord.
I'm done with the sheep.
Ha ha! Great! How did it go? Tell me!
Well, I scattered their sheep like you wanted.
That's perfect!
I also trampled their laundry, like you mentioned.
You did? That must have been quite unpleasant for them. They'll have to start over.
Alshik ran like the wind after I slipped him that specialty of yours.
What a sight that must have been!
Aye. I reckon he's still throwing up.
You've taken care of everything. You deserve a reward. And with a bit on top as well. Like I promised. Since you did such a good job.
Thanks, Olbram.
Don't mention it. You're a handy fella. But you could be even better. With my help, of course. They say I'm a good teacher. And listen, one more thing. We'll be meeting the Tachovites soon to discuss the pasture they stole from us. I'd like you to come with us. If you're not against it, that is.
So, what else do you have in store for those Tachovites?
I'll tell you, friend. We're going to meet the Tachovites in our pasture and try to sort it out. And if we don't get through to them, we'll kick their arses. Will you come with us?
Why not? I've already stolen a maypole and scattered some sheep.
You will? You're really in it with us, up to your ears. But I reckon it won't be much fun this time. We meet in the pasture regularly, and it's always the same. I try to explain everything to Prochek, but he doesn't listen to me. The thieving thief! I suppose we'll fight then. Don't worry. When the Tachovites see you, they won't want to mess with us.
Wouldn't you and Prochek rather make up? You've had the pasture split in half for years, and it's worked so far, hasn't it?
Your trackers it down like a Toscovite bailiff first. He kept wanting to get involved. But to say the pasture ours in front of the Tachovites, that he won't do.
Well, what if I talk to him? Maybe I can convince him to help us.
I wouldn't bet on it. Last time, he told me and Prochek he'd put us in the stocks if we keep bothering them.
You know what? I'll go have a talk with Thrush. Would you wait for me for a bit?
All right, but be quick. And don't you dare team up with them Tachovites.
A bit longer without food, and I'll really start to be
God be with you. Keep the peace and we'll stay friends.
So, I went to see my brother and talk about the inheritance. But your father's still alive, isn't he? Aye, but he rules all over it. So, he gets this feeling that his time is nearly up. Doesn't get it off.
Greetings to you.
I came because of the arguments between Takov and Zhelyov.
What happened this time? Did Olbram piss in Prochek's ale barrels again like last year?
No, but they're getting ready to meet up and beat each other up.
Let them do it then! Maybe a few knocks to the skull will do them good, and they'll leave me alone.
How did the arguments between the Tachovites and Zhelyevites start, anyway?
What do I know? I was a young lad back then, but it's all because of that bloody pasture. Both villages claim that it belongs to them, but nobody has any evidence. So they split it in half, but neither side is particularly happy about it.
Well, you wouldn't let them fight over nothing, would you? Does nobody know who the bloody pasture belongs to?
Nobody who could be trusted not to be making it up. After all, what business is it of mine? Let them kill each other for all I care. Worst case, I'll have to clap them all in the pillory. That should sort them out.
Lord von Berghoff would surely be glad you're taking care of his domain.
You think so? After all, who else but a wise and kind bailiff like me could get those idiots to make up? How the fuck am I supposed to find out who the pasture belongs to? I looked in the Chronicle, things like that tend to be there. But Bailiff Brada, who was here before me, must have been a lunatic. You'd have to be mad to make any sense of that book.
Then let me have a look. I may not be mad, but maybe I'll find something you overlooked. You won't have to worry about anything.
You want to touch such a rare book with those filthy peasant hands? Have you lost your mind?
Filthy peasant hands? Do you know how many books I've read? And I never fold corners. If there's anything actually useful in the Chronicle, I'll find it.
Fine, have it your way. Maybe you'll manage to make some sense of Brada's bullshit. But if I find out you've even opened that book too harshly, you'll have me to answer to.
Greetings to you.
I
don't want to wait for him to bite someone.
Are you serious? You should get another puppy. Everyone needs something to cheer them up.
This Latin phrase looks important. Otherwise it wouldn't be written in red, would it? Fecit ordinem in region ope claviferae. I should try to find somebody who could translate it for me.
God bless. How can I help you today, friend?
How are things, Master Scribe?
What would you like to hear? I don't spread gossip. I only write it down.
Are you from here?
No, I'm not. I come from nearby Yitchin.
So what are you doing here?
The plague and a spell of bad luck are behind it. The plague took most of my relatives to their maker, and I didn't want to return home after my studies. Bailiff Thrush offered me a good position here, so why shouldn't I accept it?
Well, Troskovitz isn't exactly a small village. People are probably doing well here, eh?
And why shouldn't they be? The war has avoided our region so far. I think we can especially thank our lord, Sir Otto von Bergau, for that.
And what's your lord like?
Von Bergau? My goodness. He knows how to keep order, just like his Chamberlain Ulrich. Though, sometimes it's not so easy with him.
Who's this Chamberlain Ulrich?
Ulrich von Schaumburg manages the estate of Sir Otto von Bergau. You see, as the royal chamberlain, Sir Otto spends most of his time in Prague. So Ulrich is actually something like the unofficial local ruler.
I need to translate something from Latin. You're an educated man, aren't you? Would you help me?
Why not? It's nice to see simple folk wanting to get educated. What is it you need translated?
Fecit ordinem in regione ope claviferae.
That's definitely Latin, but what could it mean? In regione is obvious. That's in the country or region. Fecit ordinem is something like to bring order. And claviferae means iron spike or maybe nail. So, brought order to the region with the help of an iron nail. Where did you hear that nonsense?
That's not important. The main thing is I know what it means, and hopefully it'll help me in my work. Thank you.
That ointment of yours is a gift from heaven. Now they only ache when there's a storm coming.
That's handy, isn't it? At least you know when to round up the cattle and gather in the hay.
Aye. When I'm old and infirm, folks will come to me for the weather forecast.
I heard about this fella. He's always
What's the hold-up, innkeeper? All we need is a bloke who can't get it up when it's going to be sunny.
Like I'm invisible or something.
3 wise men.
I'll have a beer.
And what 3 cripples are like.
Innkeeper, a beer. Ja.
Quick,
I'm as hungry as a wolf.
Quick!
Whoa!
Hey, Wayfarer. You have a long road ahead of you. Why don't you and I roll the dice?
Ka!
Go! Quick!
Whoa! Here's the damn nail. Right in the middle of the pasture. Olbram and Prochek won't be happy.
Gather round, good men, so you can avoid danger. I'm always glad to see polite people like you. God be with you.
I finally found the damn border between the Tachov and Zhelyov parts of the pasture.
How the hell did you manage that?
I found it in that chronicle of yours. It wasn't easy, but we can finally put an end to all that endless fighting.
Oh, about fucking time. So then, are you sure you found the right place?
Definitely. Bailiff Brada took iron nails and used them to mark the border so that people wouldn't forget where it is. One of them is in the oak tree on the pasture.
That's nice of him and all, but he could have fucking told somebody about it. Who can make sense of those writings of his? At least Olbram and Prochek will leave us alone now. Go to them, and when you all meet in the pasture, I'll ride over and settle this nonsense once and for all. And if those two start arguing again, I'll be hammering nails into their arses instead of trees.
I could go for something to eat now.
God bless.
All right, I'm ready now. Let's go to the pasture and have a word with the Tachovites.
Excellent. Come, let's tell the others, and we'll send for the fucker Prochek.
Well, Zhelyevites, did you miss us?
Of course they did. I reckon they hardly slept a wink.
Can you blame them? I'd rather come and get a beating than hang around in Zhelyov too.
You see? They're provoking us again. There's no use trying to negotiate with them.
There's nothing to negotiate, old man. The pasture is ours, and that's final.
Bullshit! You know right well that I got smacked around as a child in that orchard, right over there.
You know what? Now you'll get smacked around here too.
Enough! Does anybody here have anything better to do?
Trust? What are you doing here?
This shouldn't concern you, bailiff. We'll just beat those bastards' arses and go home.
Don't you think there's been enough fighting and nonsense?
I won't tolerate this nonsense in my territory.
Tell that to the Zhelyevites. Maybe they'll finally get it into their thick heads that this pasture is ours.
In your dreams, you Tachovite swine!
Kurva! Be quiet already!
You're both wrong. The pasture is split in half. From here to that oak over there is Zhelyov property, and from the oak on, it belongs to Tachov.
We're supposed to share with them? Pah!
How do you know? You're not even from around here.
But unlike you, yokels, he can read. It's all there, black on white, in the Troskovitz Chronicle. So you'll obey it and finally give it a rest.
They've done so much to hurt us. They should have to make it up to us. Make them pay.
None of that. They're the ones always provoking us. You know what? Let's give them a nice final bashing.
Knock it off already. Haven't you had enough of all this senseless arguing over the years? All those worthless problems and wasted time? Can't you just shake hands and make up?
That's right. From this point forward, this dispute is over. And if I hear about anyone causing trouble again, I'll have you all clapped in the pillory. Together. Now pack up and go home.
Well, Grandpa, are you satisfied?
Kurva, not in the slightest.
Christ, I need some sleep.
Well,
I should eat something.
Jesus Christ, be praised. I'd rather punch you in the face.
Don't you worry. I'm sure we'll find a reason to fight it.
Now, I hope the Tachovites and Zhelyovites won't be at each other's throats for a while.
I can hardly believe it. I'm sure Lord von Berghoff will be delighted with how I handled it.
How you handled it?
Aye? With a little help from you. True enough. It's nice that someone deals with problems instead of making more for a change.
Ah, don't mention it.
Leave it off. We've got our good name back. Since you did so well with the Chronicle, I have another book of knowledge for you. I didn't get much out of it myself, but maybe you'll find something revealing in it. That's a damn fine reward, don't you think?
My word. Thank you. Oh, I'm exhausted.